Hi, this is Eric Martin with Board Game Geek. I'm here with Scott D'Agostino and Paul Grogan from WizKids, showing off Mage Knight: The Lost Legion, which is on display currently at Spiel 2012. It's not available for sale, but it will be released in stores.
Comes out at the end of November, early December. We're very excited to show it off. The pre-production sample here at Essen, and just want to get it in people's eyeballs and in people's heads. And,
so what elements are we adding to the game? I assume, like many expansions, some elements are more of the same and then some are just completely new.
I'll pass this over to Paul to talk about what's included.
As you say, what we've got more of the same. So, we've got new map tiles, but there are new things on the map tiles. So we've got labyrinth, deep crystal mines. We've got new walls, so they hinder movement. So these are all explained. So yeah, new tiles, but with new stuff on them. We've got a whole load more advanced actions. So when you're playing with these, you just shuffle these in to the advanced action deck. Okay.
Are you pulling anything out instead, or just
nope.
Mixing,
they just all get added into there. The artifacts as well just get shuffled into the artifact deck. But these are all new. They're all different, and new units as well. So more of the silver units and more of the gold units, and these do all sorts of cool different things. It isn't just more of the same. There's a number of tweaks and extra rules that are needed, which are included in these cards.
So what are a couple of tweaks? What would be the most unexpected tweak?
I think the Magic Familiars is one of the ones, because when you recruit this unit, you pay a mana of a colour, and what that does is, depending on the mana that you pay to recruit the unit, one of their abilities is boosted up. And in the base game, you just recruited units with influence. There was none of that. But also there is an upkeep cost at the end of the round. You've got to pay mana to keep these guys your friend, otherwise they disappear off.
Right.
The other one, which is very different, are the thugs. Because normally in Mage Knight, if you've got a high reputation and people like you, it's easier to recruit them. The thugs are the other way round. Okay?
You got to be a jerk.
Yeah, if you've been a jerk and you've been going around burning monasteries and pillaging villages and people don't like you,
they're your man.
Yeah, the thugs will come and join you. They're your
bad
friends.
reputation's a good thing.
Right. And to counter that, you've got the heroes, which the influence bonus counts double. So it's bite to the basic. The better influence that you've got, the more easy it is to recruit them, but it's twice as good. So yeah, there's all sorts of new units in there as well. In terms of the enemy tokens, there are more orcs, more keep enemy tokens, a whole wodge of new enemy tokens. And again, these are new with new abilities. So some of them have got assassination, which means the damage comes straight through to you as a hero. Your units can't get in the way. Elusive, which means that it's harder to kill them if you don't block them. Multiple attacks, all sorts of goodies on these. But the new thing, this guy. I mean, when I saw this guy yesterday, I just, enough said. Right flat. Okay, so this is General Volcker. Anybody who's played the original Mage Knight game will have heard of General Volcker. And he is a big, bad dude with a lot of units on his side. Now you can use him in two different ways. You can integrate him into the scenarios of the base game. So instead of fighting against 3 cities, you can fight against 2 cities and General Volcker. So this tile here is his camp, and he has loads of enemy units with him. There are also 2 new scenarios that come with the game, where he actually moves around the board. So he has his own deck of cards, and each turn you turn over a card from the deck, and that determines where he moves and what he does. And there are 2 new scenarios in the game where he's actually moving around and doing
with
things.
his own particular goals that the cards are driving him
to? In one of them he has to reach the portal where you start, and if he gets to the portal before you kill him, he wins. In Volcker's quest, he's trying to find the city just like you, but if he finds it before you do and he destroys it. So in that quest, you've got to find the city first, then you've got to attack the city and take over it yourself,
and then
you've got to defend it from him while he gets there. That particular scenario is cooperative only. because it's so damn difficult to do.
I imagine you're destroying the town or the city's defenses first.
Yes.
And now you have not very much.
Hopefully he's not too far behind, and you have a little chance to build back up.
Yeah. Right. The other new addition to the game is a new hero.
Okay.
So this is Wolfhawk, who's an Amazon hero. So this it gives you 5 heroes to choose from. There are rules in there for those people that want to play a 5-player game, which a lot of people go, oh my god, 4-player game's long enough.
Right.
But if you really want to, you can play 5-player, or just mix it in with the other ones. And she's got her own unique skills and attributes that make her a very different character to the other ones. Other things that have been added to the game.
Yeah, this up here. This Crystal Joy, I gotta say, it sounds like a mainstream brand for meth. Crystal Joy.
I think it is. This is. In the original game, each player had a deck of 16 cards, and one of those cards was special to them. Okay. What the expansion has introduced is an extra card that is unique to that hero, and it tells you which one to take out. So it's actually now 14 cards that are the same as everybody else, and now each hero has 2 special cards instead of just the one.
Okay.
There are also cooperative skill tokens. In the original game, they're special ones, aren't they? In the original game, there are 10 skills, but one of them is an interactive skill that hurts the other players. And for the cooperative version of the game, you take those out. So what Vlada has done is he's designed cooperative versions of the skills, so you now add them into it, which help the other players as well as helping you as well. Okay. So I think that's a very brief overview.
Tailors the game to whatever gameplay you prefer. So the other item I just want to point out is there are some additions to the game that will replace some items from the base set. There was some items that were tweaked that will replace cards in the base set.
So there's also fixing errata in the
it's essentially the errata, the FAQs, putting them into card form so you have the correct version. And also in the very first printing, there was a couple of misprints. So we've corrected those. We've added these cards so that you can add those in and replace them from the base.
So there are certain cards from the basic game which were fine, but when you start fighting against the new enemies from the new version, some of the older cards were, that's a little bit too powerful now. So there's a few cards which he's done new versions of, which if you're playing with the expansion, you should replace the other one. So,
so we have a couple minutes left. Where do you go from here? What is Vlada?
There's a whole world.
Vlada has a lot that he comes up with.
There's a whole world to explore, so we'll keep the minds open and encourage everyone to keep playing.
I've got my own ideas about what should be done next, but they're purely my own ideas, and I don't know.
We have to go to 6 players next.
Well, possibly not 6 players, but I think a new mini expansion with a new hero.
It's always nice to add new characters to get new flavor into the game because they all play differently. So new characters is always an opportunity.
But then you have to worry how each one of those works against everyone else.
The amount of effort that Vlada puts into his games, designing it, making sure this is balanced with that. I'm on the outskirts of it, but I see the genius at work, and it's just, no wonder he's up till 4 o'clock in the morning, doing these things. And the final product, as a gamer who gets it, goes, I can see where the effort has gone on this. He does take a lot into account. He said that expansions for him are harder to design than actual base games because he's got to make sure everything all fits together and something new doesn't break.
You're defining that space, and now you have to work within it in some way to make sure everything.
He's woven a fine web here.
All right. Well, thanks very much for the overview.
Okay, nice to meet you.
Scott.
Thank you.
Until next time.